Hi there, I'm Amy Riles with Honestly Horses, and this is Tucky, and I thought we would just do a quick video tutorial on indirect and direct rein contact, what that looks like. I'm just going to see if she wants a drink real quick because we've been out here working for a few minutes. Do you need a drink, sissy? Maybe not. All right. Let's go then. All right. So your inside rein is your direct rein. Your outside rein is your indirect. We've talked about this before. I have a little video on leading and following hands. It talks a little bit about that, and I have a video on rein management that also addresses direct and indirect rein. But what I want to talk about today is contact. So whether you're using your right or left rein, the amount of contact that you have with your horse's mouth is in direct relation to how you hold your reins. It's also affected by your horse and the level of finish that your horse has on it. So this is a pretty finished horse, and she's used to riding in a curb bit, which is a different process, but also she's super light in the mouth regardless of what she's riding in. So I just thought I'd show you what it looks like when I apply contact to my reins. Right now she's just kind of putzing along, thinking that I might let her grab a bite of grass here, which I'm not going to do, but her head's pretty low, and I'll show you how I lift her head. So I'm not going to take a hold of my reins to lift this horse's head. What I am going to do is I'm going to engage a little bit of my seat and my leg, and as I do that, you're going to see her head start to come up. I'm literally just tapping her with one foot. I'm not asking her to speed up. I'm just squeezing one foot at a time, and I'm alternating one foot and then the other. And as I do that, you see her start to lift her head. I'm just indicating, hey, pay attention, I'm about to do something different. And also, I'm going to take a little contact. And I don't want to just reach down and grab a hold of my reins and pull her head up, because that defeats all the work we do trying to help her be light and soft and sensitive to contact. So with my hands in this position, I'm going to demonstrate what contact looks like for this horse. Contact is a personal conversation you're going to have with your horse. It's not going to be universal. So what this horse takes and what this horse approves of when it comes to contact might be very different than what your horse approves of and is okay with. Yours might need less, yours might need more. But this is what it looks like for us. Okay, so my hands stay pretty soft and open. I do not have a hold of my reins. I do not close my hands. I do not get locked in any position there. I like for my hands to be soft and working and open at all times. So as I ask her head to come up, I just kind of inch my fingers down those reins, because obviously when her head comes up, the distance between my hand and her mouth gets shorter. I want to shorten that, and I want to take up a little bit of contact there. So as you can see, I've got a little contact. There's play in my reins. I'm not pulling, they're not tight. I'm using my fingers to ask her to elevate her front end a little bit and come up to me. We're going to just ask for a little right bend here. I do that bend first and foremost from my seat. I turn my belly button the direction I want to go. I engage my right leg at the girth. My left leg comes back a little behind my girth and engages at her rib cage. That keeps her from overspringing in the middle and going too far in that bend. I want her body to stay nice and balanced underneath me. And I can make slight adjustments on my reins up and down to help her maintain balance in those shoulders. So this direction particularly, she has a tendency to drift out with this shoulder. So she kind of drops this shoulder to the outside. In order for me to help her correct that when I'm bending to the left, I just lift this left or right rein ever so slightly, and as I do that, I engage my right leg a little more, and that shoulder comes right back in line, and falls right back where I need it to be. So as I change direction or change rein, I change my hip position so that she follows that feel in my hips and that bend. She's getting a little bit low, so I'm just going to tap my legs and ask her to come up again. There it is. Very nice. I did lift my hands a little bit to ask her to lift that head back up, and now she's right where I want her, so I'm just drop my hands back down where I need them to be. Good girl. Very slight changes on your rein. See how that's so slight? So soft. Her contact level is very different than a lot of horses. She's pretty easy to maintain contact with. I can take a hold of that rein and ask for more. Right now I'm going to ask for a right bend at the jog. Good girl. So my outside rein is holding just ever so slightly, and by just moving my outside elbow back about a ½ inch, I've kind of closed the play in my left rein. That's all. That's my outside right now as we're bending right. As I come across here, I'm going to change my bend. I'm going to adjust my rein a little bit on the left. I just shifted my hips, moved my hips so that I was pointing them toward her left ear. As I did that, I just changed that play in my rein. We're going to ask her to walk again, maintaining that contact. Beautiful transition. She didn't dive or drop her head. Falling out a little on that right shoulder. There we go. Very nice. Good job. So that's a little bit on contact. I hope that helps. If you notice, it's all in those fingers, light and soft, and being able to adjust your position to help your horse stay balanced and bending correctly underneath you. If you're leaning to one side, your horse is going to lean to one side. So it's really important that we as riders understand how we affect our horse's movement and balance and how we can help them to move better. Notice as I asked her for that right bend right there, she was just kind of dropping the shoulder to the inside a little bit and kind of drifting right instead of bending and moving her body, arcing her body right. So what I did was I opened my outside rein just a little bit to give myself a little more of a contact with that outside rein. And I moved my fingers on that inside. Oh yes, see that? Nice bend. Good girl. Beautiful. Very good. And I'm just going to let her have that rein back and a loose rein. So I'm Amy Riles with Honestly Horses, and that was a little bit on contact with your reins. I never introduce contact until I have forward motion with a horse. If I have a horse that can move forward in the snaffle or the hackamore or even the rope halter at a walk, trot, and a lope on a loose rein, when we're comfortable with that, we can move forward into working on contact. She's a little drifty because her friends are that way. That's what that looks like. Until next time, click the like and subscribe. Happy trails, y'all.